So this is how far I've gotten with my Spring Day BTS kit, and no kit is complete without a weekend banner, so let's make that next. I think we have just enough room down here. So we all know that the width of a box is 1.5 inches, and you'd think like 1.5 plus 1.5 would equal 3. But there's also the gutter inside, so it's actually going to be 3.125. So I'm going to get another rectangle, put it down right there, get to my scale, and take off the lock aspect, and the width is going to be 3.125, and the height is 1.9. Let's hope it fits. Oh no, it doesn't. What are we going to do? No! So what I can probably do, because I like to fit these, all on one sheet, is move the headers around. So what I'm going to do, let's just make the banner and then we'll figure out how to fit it on the page. How about that? So I'm going to open up another image. I really liked the throwing the cake one. That was pretty great. Let me go get that box. Copy. Paste. Whoops, not that. Copy this, please, and paste it here, please. Alright. Maybe I just gotta be nicer to my software, then it would do things for me. So, Ratmon about to be cake-faced. I can only shrink it so much, so I'm not gonna be able to fit everybody in. That's a shame. I don't want just Jimin's arm sticking out there like that. So maybe we'll just do that instead. Highlight them both. Object. Modify. Crop. Oh wait, not crop. Because you guys remember, you gotta take the cut line and give it an offset. An offset of 0.03. The corner, and apply. Okay, so now we'll take the image in just that outside box. Object. Modify. Crop. And there we go. And I just have to write weekend somewhere here. So I'll get my text tool, click there. Of course it's going to be huge, so I'm going to take it down to maybe 36. Just type in weekend at first. It's going to be in that dumb font, so I'm going to change it to one of the fonts I'm using. Either Big Noodle Tilting, which I think is going to be a little stiff. Actually, that looks kind of good. I kind of like it. So I'm going to get my colors. I'll change it white. Let's see how it looks in white with no outline. That looks kind of great, actually. I'm one for simplicity. I think I'm going to keep it that way. So I'm going to just highlight all of this, group it, so it all stays together, copy it, and now we have to figure out how it's going to fit on this page. I'm going to get rid of that box, don't need that anymore. Back up a little bit here. So I think we can fit it vertically, so I'm going to turn it just like I turned the washi tape. I'm going to put it down here. Oh, I can't get into the hatch marks though. I'll be right up there. And then I'm going to hold down Shift, Control, and the right bracket and the left bracket to take it to the back. So really I just have to get rid of four headers. That's all I need to know. So I'm going to take these 4 headers, move them aside, take the weekend box, put that back. See, I could probably fit the headers like right down here, at least 2 of them. And then the other 2, I'll take one singly, turn it. Oops. Actually, I bet you can do this. You know what? I bet there's an easier way. I bet I can select both of these. And in this little rotation section, just turn them 90 degrees. Look at that! So much easier. Sometimes you don't think of these things. You can get the blue one, put it in there, and the brown one, and put it over there. And that looks like all we can fit here. So in a little space like this, if you are a fan of like little banner flags, let's do one of those just for funsies. You can get, now you might like have no idea how big is this going to be. So you go to your grid, show your grid. I like the spacing to be 1/4 of an inch because that's a header size. Like that, and let's get a color I can see, like green. Oops, show grid. So I know this is the size of a header. Whoa, subdivision should be 1. There we go. So this one box is the size of a header. So if I wanted my little flag to be like a little bit bigger than a header, actually this green's a little strong, huh? Let's lighten that up. How do I do that? Gray? Maybe we'll just do gray. The lighter gray. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So, as I was saying, if I wanted it a little bit bigger than, a little bit wider than a header, then, see, now I have some guesstimation skills there. So obviously this is only a rectangle, it's not a flag, so I need to go over to here, get my other little arrow, and right in the middle, I'm going to click until there's another dot, and then I'm just going to move it up, like that. And I know some people, they want to make sure that this point is like exactly in the center, right? I'm more like, hey, I think offset looks kind of cool. Like you don't see it that much. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. So if you want to center it, you can center it. If not, don't. And then again, because we don't want it to cut right on the edge, we go to the offset, 0.03, corner, apply. And then this outside one is going to be the color. So I can choose, you know, dark blue, or maybe that'll be too hard to write on, so let's get the light blue. And the line is going to be clear so that it doesn't get cut. And then there would be my flag, and you can even put like an icon here if you wanted. And then once you like that, you just duplicate it as much as you have space. I think I only have space for 2. Maybe put it in a different color. So I'll get that outside box. And we'll have one that's, whoops, not the line color, we want the fill color to be that red. And then we'll back up. Anyway, that's how you make the weekend box. And if you don't want to make a full weekend box, then you can just adjust the height to whatever you want. You can only make it like the size of a header if you want, or, you know, thicker. It's all up to you. So looking at this, I think we can actually squeeze in a little bit more. So I am going to move this one closer to these. Move all of these a little bit closer to the washi. And I think we have just enough room to squeeze in a couple of checklists on the other side here. So I'm going to get those all in there like that. I'm going to turn on the grid again, so I'm going to go over to my grid, show grid, and this block right here shows the width of the header, so we could get a really skinny checklist fitting in here, I think. So what I'm going to do is get my rectangle and make it about 1/4 of an inch. If you really want to get it perfect, you can go to the scale and you can do this whole thing, 0.25, and apply. And I'm obviously not going to be able to fit 7 full-length ones, but I could probably do some half ones. So the boxes being about 2 inches, I'm going to one at the very least. Actually, that's not a bad size right there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get that arrow again and add one in the middle. Oops. And then I'm going to move it up just slightly. And that's the cut line, so I'm going to go to offset, 0.25, corner, whoa, no, don't do that. Too much. 0.03, corner, apply. Okay, and that's the thing that's going to be colored, so I'm going to get my fill color, choose a color, line color is going to be clear, like that. And then if you want to make those little lightning bolts that I had on my other set here, these little lightning bolts, all I did was go over to the BTS logo, over here. Oh, my Silhouette Studio is slowing down on me here. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to try to zoom in again. So these little lightning bolts, all I did was get this tool over here, I don't even know what it's called, like you just tap it, and then it makes all these little things like that, and then you've got a shape, right? So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to trace around this lightning bolt. Like so. Oops. My point was a little too close to it. Oh, don't make me do it all over again. Okay, it's going to make me do it all over again. So you might have to get super zoomed in, because if the tool senses that the next point is really close, it might think that you're trying to finish off the shape even though you're not. And it doesn't matter if you're exactly on point, because you can adjust them later. Like I can get that little arrow with the dotted line tool, and then I can just move these closer to what they're supposed to be. Like that. So now I've got this shape. I'm just going to cut that, go back over here to the checklist I was working on and paste. Whoops, it pasted over here. Whoops, I grabbed the wrong thing. And I'm going to fill it with white, and if you want to change the outline to black, you can do that. If you want no outline, that's fine too. I'm going to go to the style, and maybe put a 0.5 point on it like that. And it's a little big, so I'm going to shrink it down a little bit, like that. And then if I want it centered, I just highlight all three of these, go to the alignment, and align center. Then I'm going to duplicate it. Duplicate below, and then I'm going to move the bottom one where I want it. And then click the other two lightning bolts. And I'll go back to align. And right here where it says space vertically, I'm going to click that, and that'll automatically space the middle one like that. So that's cool. So now I can highlight this, move it up here, and duplicate. Below, however far it can go. Oh, it's running into the weekend. I think I can move that over some more, so I'm going to keep going. Actually, I could probably move these guys over a smidge. I don't know, it's getting very close to this blue cut line, so maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll try to move the washi closer together. And then I can move the weekend banner closer, like that. And how many did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No! That's like the worst number. Is there any other place that we could fit it? How about on the other side? Nope, we are pretty full up. Okay. That's just how it has to be. But I do want some different colors. I'm going to highlight that. Get a different color. And some of you might be thinking like, oh, well, why don't you just make another page? Well, since I'm cutting these pages in half, I feel like I'd only make enough stickers to make a half page, and then you've got this whole other half of a page that has nothing printed on it, and you can't use it again after that. Like once you print it, that's it. So I want to, use my paper wisely, and if I can't, gosh, I keep putting that inner box. If I can't do another 2 sheets, then I just, live with the 2 sheets. I mean, because I can't make 3 half sheets. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's very difficult to make 3 half sheets. You can either make 2, or you can make 4. But trying to make 3 is a pain. So, I am going to call this done.